It was Lily's 6th birthday. Her father, John, searched for the perfect gift. He found it in a dusty antique shop, a porcelain doll named Noddy. John felt an odd chill as he picked up the doll. He ignored it, attributing it to the shop's atmosphere. Wrapped in bright paper, Noddy was ready for Lily.
Noddy, she's so beautiful!
Lily was overjoyed with Noddy. The doll had rosy cheeks, a velvet dress, and piercing blue eyes. She immediately took Noddy everywhere, to the park, to dinner, even to bed. The first few days were uneventful. Noddy was just a doll, or so they thought. The true horror was yet to reveal itself.
What is that sound?
One night, Lily woke up to a strange sound. It was a soft humming coming from Noddy. She dismissed it, figuring she was just hearing things. But the humming continued each night. It was always the same eerie tune, and it seemed to be getting louder. Lily started feeling uneasy around Noddy.
Mom, Dad, I keep seeing shadows around Noddy. They move so quickly, and sometimes I think I hear them whispering my name. It's really scary, especially at night when everything is so quiet. I don't know what to do.
Oh, honey, it's just your imagination. Shadows can play tricks on your mind, especially when it's dark. Remember, there's nothing to be afraid of. We're always here to protect you. Maybe try to think of happy thoughts before you go to bed. It's probably just your dreams. Sometimes our minds can create scary images when we're asleep. Dreams can feel very real, but they can't hurt you. Try to remember that when you wake up feeling scared.
Things took a turn for the worse. The shadows that Lily saw began to appear more frequently, and they seemed to be getting closer. The whispers grew louder, almost as if they were trying to tell her something important. The once comforting presence of her parents now felt distant and ineffective. Lily began seeing fleeting shadows around Noddy. They darted between trees and bushes, always just out of reach. She tried to follow them, but they always disappeared before she could get close. It was as if they were playing a game with her, a game she didn't want to play. She heard whispers when Noddy was close, but she couldn't make out the words. They were soft and indistinct, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. Sometimes she thought she heard her name, but when she turned to look, there was nothing there. The whispers made her feel uneasy, as if something was watching her. Lily told her parents, but they dismissed it as an overactive imagination. They assured her that there was nothing to worry about, that shadows and whispers were just tricks of the mind. But Lily couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She felt alone in her fear, unable to make her parents understand. They told her it was just her dreams, but deep down John felt a growing sense of unease. He couldn't explain it, but he felt that there was something more to Lily's stories. He began to watch the shadows more closely, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever was haunting his daughter. The feeling of dread grew stronger with each passing day, and he knew that they had to find a way to protect Lily from the whispers and shadows.
One day I noticed something truly terrifying. Noddy's eyes seemed to follow me.
No matter where Lily moved, Noddy's gaze was fixated on her.
I started avoiding the doll. I left Noddy in my room, refusing to even look at it.
But the strange occurrences only intensified. One morning, Lily woke up to find her room in disarray. Toys were scattered, drawings torn, and on the wall, written in what looked like crayon, was a single chilling message. Noddy's home now.
Mom, Dad, come quickly.
Oh my God, what happened here?
Lily ran to her parents, terrified. This time they couldn't ignore the evidence. Something was terribly wrong. The house became a place of terror. It was once a charming, cozy home, but now it stood as a monument to fear. The windows, once filled with light and laughter, were now dark and foreboding. The yard, once meticulously maintained, was now overgrown and wild, adding to the eerie atmosphere that surrounded the house. Doors slammed shut on their own. Objects moved inexplicably. It was as if an unseen force had taken control, making its presence known in the most unsettling ways. The family would hear footsteps echoing through the halls at night, even though no one was there. Lights flickered, and cold drafts would sweep through the rooms, sending shivers down their spines. Lily's parents were at their wits' end, unable to explain the paranormal activity. They had tried everything, calling in experts, performing rituals, even considering moving out. But nothing seemed to work. The sense of helplessness was overwhelming, and it was taking a toll on their mental and emotional well-being.
It's Noddy, Mom. It's the doll. She's doing this. Lily's voice was filled with a mix of fear and conviction. She had always felt a strange connection to the doll, but now it seemed to have a life of its own. The doll's eyes, once innocent and playful, now seemed to follow her every move, filled with a malevolent intent.
This can't be happening. The disbelief was palpable. How could a simple doll be the source of so much chaos and fear? It defied all logic and reason, yet the evidence was undeniable. The family was living in a nightmare, and they had no idea how to wake up from it. We need to do something. The urgency in their voices was clear. They couldn't go on living like this, constantly on edge, waiting for the next inexplicable event to occur. They needed a plan, a way to confront whatever was haunting them and reclaim their home.
Lily was convinced Noddy was behind it all. She had done her research, reading up on haunted objects and the power they could wield. The more she learned, the more certain she became that Noddy was not just a doll, but a vessel for something far more sinister. The doll was no longer a plaything. It was something sinister, something evil. It had become a symbol of their fear, a constant reminder of the darkness that had invaded their lives. They knew they had to find a way to break free from its grip, but the path ahead was uncertain and fraught with danger. The horrifying climax came one stormy night. As the wind howled outside, Lily woke up to blood-curdling screams. It was her parents.
Mom, Dad, what's happening?
She ran to their room only to find it a scene of unimaginable horror. Her parents lay lifeless, their faces contorted in fear. And at the foot of their bed sat Noddy, her blue eyes glowing menacingly. Lily was found the next day, traumatized but alive. She had been missing for almost 24 hours, and the entire neighborhood had been on edge. The police had combed through every inch of the area, but it was a local jogger who finally discovered her, huddled behind a cluster of bushes in the park. Her clothes were torn, and her eyes were wide with fear, but she was breathing, and that was all that mattered at that moment. Noddy was gone, vanished without a trace. The doll that had been the center of so much attention was nowhere to be found. It was as if it had simply evaporated into thin air. The police searched the house and the surrounding areas, but there was no sign of it. The neighbors whispered among themselves, sharing stories of the doll's eerie presence and the unsettling events that had unfolded. The house remained a chilling reminder of the horrific events. It stood there empty and silent, with its windows boarded up and a "for sale" sign slowly gathering dust. No one in the neighborhood wanted to go near it, and potential buyers were few and far between. The once vibrant home had become a ghostly shell, a monument to the terror that had taken place within its walls.
Look at this doll, honey. It's beautiful. The couple marveled at the intricate details of the porcelain doll, its delicate features and the fine craftsmanship that had gone into creating it. They had been browsing the flea market for hours, looking for something unique to add to their collection, and this doll seemed perfect.
Months later, in another town, a young couple strolled through a flea market. The sun was shining, and the market was bustling with activity. Vendors called out to passers-by, showcasing their wares, and the air was filled with the scent of street food and the sound of lively chatter. The couple was enjoying their day out, taking in the sights and sounds of the market. They came across a vendor selling an antique porcelain doll. The stall was filled with various antiques, but the doll stood out. It was placed on a velvet cushion, its glassy eyes staring out at the crowd. The vendor noticed their interest and began to tell them about the doll's history, how it had been passed down through generations and was said to bring good luck to its owners.
Her name is Noddy, the vendor chirped. She's looking for a new home. The couple exchanged glances, intrigued by the story. They had heard of dolls with names and histories, but there was something about Noddy that seemed different. The vendor's eyes twinkled as he spoke, and the couple felt a strange pull towards the doll.
The cycle of horror was about to begin again. Unbeknownst to the couple, they were about to become part of a story that had been repeating itself for decades. The doll, with its innocent appearance, held a dark secret. And as they walked away from the market with Noddy in their possession, the sky seemed to darken, and a chill ran down their spines. The cycle continued, and the horror was far from over.